We are back again here to finish up our final portion from our Sunday night evenings here. As we left off with our last part there, we were leaving you all hanging on a cliff to see what Paul was teasing up here.
Yeah. So I'm going to say right off the hop, our American viewership is probably not going to appreciate this. I'm probably going to get some vitriol in the comments. But can we all just say enough is enough with American flags on knives?
Yes.
Well, I see what you're saying. You're saying.
So I'm just saying there's 4.37 billion more people on the planet that aren't American, and we don't care.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I will also say that I particularly don't
care.
I don't necessarily care to have a Swiss Army knife, let's say, with a Canadian flag on it. It doesn't do much for me. Maybe this does something for Americans to see their flag, but also, interesting note, isn't there something in your Constitution about not having your flag on like articles of clothing and other objects and stuff like that?
I'm pretty sure there is, actually.
Like, I'm not like trying to throw too much shade here, but I'm more just like I actually thought that was specifically written out somewhere, and I'm wondering whether I'm wrong or not.
Zinx is actually saying in chat that he agrees. Truth, specifically, is what he said.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Zinx is American, right?
What I will say is that if you look at the market and the population of a large majority of these people that are buying these knives, it is American.
For sure. But if they made the same knife without that flag on it, I'd buy it too. Increasing their revenue by 1.
But they might sell it to 3 more people other than you because it has an American flag on it, because their market is American, who might not even know about ZT knives or whatever.
And to be fair,
not that I'm throwing shade.
When I search up American flag knife, and as the viewers can see as I scroll through, we're getting the likes of M-Tech. We're getting we're getting stuff like Kershaw. We're getting like relatively inexpensive stuff. Tac Force. We're not looking at super high.
The Tac Force is made in the USA for sure.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But there's also
Assembled.
But isn't there also like that limited Spyderco PM3 that just came out?
With not only the American flag, but the Colorado flag on it.
Yeah. And then there's stuff like ProTech, which I know they've done engraving work, which, mind you, their engraving work is usually on point, so I'm a little loath to complain there. I'm not saying you can't. It's not just at the entry-level quality level. Like, you can find stuff from, again, ProTech. Or, here's one from DPX Gear, the Heist, that has the American flag. Kind of. They're stars and stripes.
Knife
the what?
With the American flag, which was amazing.
The what shaped knife?
It was a gun. It was farther out.
Yeah, there's this thing here.
Of course there is.
Oh, and brass knuckles. Oh, and that's just straight up a gun with the American flag lasered on the side. Okay, that seems
distinctly more American than that.
I was gonna say that seems distinctly American. I'm less upset about that than I am the knives. Not really all that upset about it, but it's just kind of funny.
Justin is mentioning that he is in America. I said Justin. I meant Zinx is in America. And he doesn't think that it's in the Constitution, but it's kind of frowned upon by people.
Fair enough.
I might actually bother to fact check all this, because I'm not 100% sure. Yeah.
Well, and I just wish there was more than like one T-shirt option from, say, ZT that you could get your hands on that didn't have an American flag on it, because I would own that T-shirt.
Mine does. I have one T-shirt that does. It does not have the American flag on
That's it. It's the one shirt. Every other one has an American flag, and I would own. I want to be able to do this. but with an American flag, with a ZT shirt.
With an American flag.
That's, that one was for Francis. He was commenting today when he was in the shop about my inability to, speak.
And I'm pretty sure I have to thank Francis because he's the one that brought these denim micarta QSB to my attention.
Cool.
And the first time I looked at them, I'm pretty sure it was because he brought one into the shop, and I was just blown away on how nice it was for how cheap it is. So, yeah.
It's just mountains, dude. It's just mountains. It doesn't say Colorado on here.
Yeah, it's not the flag on it.
It's a bit different, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so I should also rectify what I said earlier. It's now this is just off Wikipedia, but this is the flag article. What article name is this? Regardless.
This is the nerdiest thing ever that we've ever talked about.
Yeah.
It's all my fault. I'm sorry, guys.
I just got to clear it.
You're not sorry.
So it says the flag should never be used as a receptacle for receiving, holding, carrying, or delivering anything. It should never be used as wearing apparel, bedding, or drapery. So it's more talking about the flag itself.
The actual flag.
But the design of the flag, the stars and stripes, apparently there's nothing in the code that says it can't be used for
logoing and branding.
It does say the flag should never be used for advertising purposes in any way whatsoever. That's the only way that it seems to conflict with.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if it's a statement, then they're pushing their luck. Yeah.
Again, I'm going to apologize for all of that.
You did this.
I know. It was my fault.
Joe, stop shirking responsibility for being a nerd.
No, never. I'll never admit. Actually, no, I freely admit. Yeah.
I was going to say, you've admitted many times, openly.
Yeah. With very little provocation, I might add. Speaking of being a nerd, I'm excited to get the... I don't know if I've talked to you guys about this before. I think I've talked to Paul. But I'm excited to get the QSP Penguin to directly compare its D2 to the CRKT D2 Pilar, yeah. I bought one of these for myself recently because it's like, you know what? For as much as I slag on CRKT for not using decent materials, I'm kind of an ass for not owning any CRKTs with like the D2 that I'm interested in.
With decent materials.
Yeah, exactly.
P large.
P large, right. So this is the version with the flipper and the D2 because I don't think the small has an option for D2. Yeah. So just a brief side note, but I am very curious to see how this holds up. And unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to Rockwell test this yet, so I don't know how
you
hard
were
it actually
saying, though,
is.
that people were commenting online about the Rockwell being in that, like, 60-61 range, right?
Yeah, like, significantly well hardened. And if that's the case, I don't care if it's regular ingot D2, that thing should perform. And so far, it's been pretty decent. But, I mean, only time will tell.
I'm very interested to see if it still is.
CRKT does bring like some decent steels to the table. I've got one of like Ken Onion's hunting knives that they made for him, and it's K110C bowler, and I can see the frown on Paul's face, and I don't care what he thinks about him or Ken Onion, but
well,
it's an egg.
I'm a little little disappointed.
Like, K110 is like a Swedish powder steel version of D2 and whatever type of like. And so,
I'm a little disappointed that I didn't pick one of those up for myself when I had the chance because they're kind of a cool little knife. Decent little sheath.
It's kind of weird.
I remember people had issues with rust. But that being said, it's D2 essentially, right? Like it's a powdered D2, so. Just take care.
Zinks in chat is again saying, as an American, he rarely buys anything that has the American flag on it, other than an American flag, and it has to be made in America. That's a good point. I would say if you're going to buy a flag, it better be made in the country where you're buying it.
Yeah,
doesn't matter which flag it is.
Something a little strange, buying an American flag that's like made in China or like overseas or something. It's a little strange. So there's something there.
He also is saying that buying a knife with the American flag on it seems kind of hickish. And I should point out, I'm not specifically talking about like the Kershaw link where it has the American flag on the backside of the blade, just denoting that it's made in America. But on the flip side of things, the ZT804 with the Made in America right on the pivot is kind of obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up, I have one of those.
It's the reason why I didn't buy that knife, and it makes me sad because that's a cool knife.
I got over it. Oh, hey, Dennis's has his there too. Yeah. USA made.
Mm-hmm.
I
I'm
can't give it. You can't.
I'm okay with it when it's like this. Like it's subtle enough. I don't really care.
White letters on a black background, super subtle.
It's
Well,
subtle enough.
but look at the
No,
overall.
it's not. But I don't care.
Look at the overall scale of this thing. Like it, you know it's there, but it doesn't like draw your attention every single time you look at the handle. I think the carbon fiber is way too pretty for that.
I don't know. Francis is saying in chat, "Hey Nigel and Dennis, check this out. Dennis needs to do his magic and have these available at the cutting edge." But I don't know what knife he's commenting on. I'm not seeing it in chat here, unless he sent it to you in DMs.
I don't know. I didn't see a DM on my thing.
Yeah, I was just checking and haven't seen one either. So yeah, I am not sure either.
And I just saw the comment from. Oh shoot! I totally lost that page. Zinks. The Kershaw flag is nice. I meant the blasted red, white, and blue. This isn't the blasted red, white, and blue I've got on the screen right now. This is the knockout with it's just the blue and the white. But I think that's I don't really have a problem with Kershaw's labeling their blades with the American flag. I think that's
Like
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no, same, 100% on board with that. Because I would want it to say "Made in Canada" if it was a knife made in Canada with the Canadian flag in that same spot.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Regardless of what we think about billboarding, if it was from our country, we'd be totally okay with it, type of thing, right? So
To a degree, I wouldn't buy a knife if it had the Canadian flag on it, like these American flags are. And maybe that's a comment on our flag, but I don't necessarily hate our flag. It's actually on me, so
there you go.
I can't really say too much.
I was gonna say I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find a picture here on the Google, but Grimsmo knives, they have the Canadian flag on the inside of their handle scales.
Inside, yeah.
Which is a nice. That's truly a subtle way to do it. No tongue in cheek there. It's definitely out of the way. But to be fair, there's also like, what are there, like 6 Canadian knife manufacturers? Like, there's not many.
Nope.
That's
true.
Stuff.
Not enough. Definitely not enough.
Yeah.
I've kind of run out of steam. That was the end of my little rant. I don't know if anybody else has.
There was a comment right before we went on break here.
Ben is saying that. Sorry, I don't mean to jump all over
for
you. He's saying the Bug Out International has a small Canadian flag on it.
Really?
Unless it's molded on the inside of the handle, I don't know where that would be.
I hope that Winnipeg's cutting edge didn't logo put on top of something, because that I don't know. But I
wouldn't be surprised. He's saying it was a Google search on the Google.
Interesting. I don't actually know, but I know that international exclusives are available in Europe as well. And I think it was Tom's, ex-Tom's, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Had access to play with it before it was actually released, as same like we were, right? Like, so as retailers.
I'm just looking for Benchmade International Bug Out on
Google.
But...
Apparently it's on the other side under the S30V. Yeah, if you could find that photo and send it to the Pokey Factor Instagram, I could probably pull it up.
Yeah, would be super interested in actually seeing that, because as far as from the pictures and as far as from my memory, the one on the shelf doesn't have that.
Like I said, the international exclusives should be European, Australian, Canadian, everywhere except for US. So it wouldn't make sense just to have the Canadian flag on it.
No, it does ring very true to me to think that it might be something that,
Might have been edited.
yeah, I was going to say by a certain individual, but
Well,
it's not a zero chance. Let's just put it that way.
I have seen some photoshopping where it looks like the product might be a little deceiving. Let's just put it that way.
The closest that I've been able to find on it was this one here. So I'll my phone out and get it closer.
Let me see if I can blow that up.
Oh, did someone, and I don't think that's it, but did someone put that on for the new customizer?
I'm not sure. This is up on Atlantic Nice and Tactical Supplies.
But they call it a
Saying
Canadian
this is
April
edition.
edition.
That is
this
a different
number
type.
1 of 2. So they like got 2 customized like this, I guess.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
kind of cool. Yeah.
And
That
that's
is
the closest I've been able to find with the maple leaf on.
He said a DM, so I'm going to confirm right now.
Right? Meow. Meow.
Hey, look, a DM.
Meow. But yes, it looks like there was 2 of those made, right?
That is what I had said. Yep.
That is not the same knife either.
Nope, sure isn't.
That. All right.
And that's not the exclusive that we have.
Sure,
That
we
is
can-
something else entirely. Maybe some other store has an exclusive.
Yeah.
Could be, yeah.
I wonder how many stores out there are ordering stuff through the customizer and then claiming exclusive on their website just to get at some sneak bucks. You know?
Well, it kind of would be exclusive if you're designing it yourself, right?
Exclusive
Well,
to two.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like
Don't crush my dream, Joe.
How about this? We will confirm with the one on the shelves. I don't think there's a Canadian flag on the backside, but
no.
we can confirm, and we will get back to you next week to give you a definitive answer.
Yeah, I do not believe, but we'll double check that.
I feel like that's something we would have talked about had that been the case, but
Yeah, like Dennis said, though, it's an international exclusive. It's not exclusive. It's not a Canadian exclusive.
right.
So it seems strange that it would have the Canadian flag.
Mhm.
It also looked like that red was a different color of red than the one that was on our shelf. More orangey red rather than like the kind of like deeper red. You know, the deeper red.
You're orangey red.
Yeah. In places.
Nerdy.
Anyways, I have nothing.
I think we're about rounded out for the evening here, guys. I think we
I
are.
believe so.
Yep. The only thing I was going to do was
Yeah.
show off my work some more here and
I was just gonna ask.
teased up the I had teased up the wasp nest stuff there, and this is one of the first castings that I did. And
I'm really liking the way you can see the honeycomb.
mhm. Yeah, I just took one of the discs and laid it flat and poured on top there and tried to fill up some of the comb with different colors and stuff, and it does glow in the dark.
So
Fill up that comb.
for those not
Yeah.
aware, Nigel's been up to some weird shit lately. He's been making
He's
some cool stuff.
combing.
Yep. And as usual, it's hard to get resin on film because it, as you can see, it's very reflecty.
Very much so. Ben in chat is saying that the honeycomb looks awesome.
Thanks, man.
I guess it would be fair to say that it's wasp comb.
Yeah.
Not as fun to say, but definitely
Yeah.
more accurate. On that note, we're kind of at the end of things.
Yeah.
We are getting slightly closer on YouTube for viewership, and we're going to do a 500 giveaway. We're sneaking close and closer.
We've gotten a subscriber today because we're at 476 right now. We were at 475 this morning. So
Very nice.
Hey.
But if you like, subscribe, share, things like that type of thing, you will help us grow. So yeah,
Indeed,
please and thank you. Please and thank you.
Yeah.
So
make sure you click that subscribe button as well as the like button, and even through the YouTube algorithms, the like button will help bump our exposure rates and stuff like that. So that will help us grow as well.
Most definitely. Like and subscribe. Head on over to the Pokey Factor on Instagram. Like and subscribe over there as well. That's where you're going to see like our week-to-week questions, the knife fights, things like that in our stories. Saturday morning to Sunday morning. Yeah. Do the thing.
And also Patreon, last but not least, as well. You can, for very little money, get on the score sheets and submit your score sheets that we'll talk about as well here. And then we can give a shit about what you have to say about the knives in front of us. So, yeah.
Indeed. Yeah. It's even one of the first tiers will get you access to the scoring sheets, and play along, and we can tell you how you're wrong.
Oh, I will.
So that being all that, this is Nigel the Smith signing off.
I am who I am. I'm Dennis Vipers.
I am the Iron Joe.
Exile.ca.
We will catch you again next time.
I think I'm allergic to Joe.
We don't need